have never watched nor read Harry Potter. As a youngling, I had been shielded from this wizarding world of witchcraft and demonic rituals, the kind that were supposedly powerful enough to corrupt an innocent child and lead them down a path of darkness. So while I may still hold a slight grudge against this franchise, I have made it my next mission to successfully predict the storyline of the first 2 Harry Potter movies. Now, I do know a few things. There's a wizard school named Hogwarts where Harry Potter and his 2 friends, the Ginger Kid and Emma Watson, well, I don't really know what they do. Then there's Jojo Siwa, who's the bully from what I've heard. And then obviously we all know this, houses are divided by 4. There's Gryffindor, Slytherin, Hufflepuff, and Ravenclaw, in which one of these is evil. I am also aware, thanks to Universal Studios' Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey, there's games where houses compete with one another while flying around on their broomstick thingies. And there's also weird ghost-looking monsters that you get very up close and personal with. It will make you scream. Last but not least, every good story needs a villain, and in this case we have Voldemort, who I know nothing about. So with that said, let's begin. Okay, I'm gonna get cozy for this. I have my notes on my lap. You're not prepared. First, we have Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. So, the movie starts, and we have this little boy who, judging from the trailer, I'm gonna say is fatherless because that man, he doesn't look very fatherly. So he's an orphan and he's working in this shop with the scary guy, and something magical happens. He picks up a wand of some sort, and out of nowhere, it just starts glowing in his hands like it's chosen him. So the other guy, he's like, bro, you're a wizard. This is crazy. And Harry, he is in disbelief. He's like, no, I am not. No way that can be. It doesn't make sense at all. A few weeks later, Harry receives this letter from Hogwarts saying that he's been accepted into wizard school, but he never applied. Interesting. Ends up the weird guy, he went to the owner of the shop, who is the one that found Harry on his doorstep. Or no, he probably found Harry like on the streets, and it was like during a poverty time. Anyway, the scary guy, he goes to the owner and he's like, yo, this kid is magical. We gotta get him to Hogwarts right now. And so they send out the application. Harry's thrilled. This is his path out of poverty because he's an orphan boy. He can finally be more than that, right? So they pick him up and they take him to this school that is really just a giant castle. But before Harry moves in and everything, he needs to be assigned to a house. Now, also thanks to the Universal Studios ride, I do know that there's this creepy talking hat that decides what house you're gonna be in. There's Gryffindor, who I think they're the nerdy ones because Harry Potter and his little buddy, they look like nerds. They definitely are nerdy. So Gryffindor is like the smart ones. They're very good at potions. They're very good at spells. Basically, when you think of a wizard, that is what Gryffindor is. And then there's Ravenclaw. With the word claw in it, I'm gonna say they're like the fighters. They're the ones that are frontline in the battle. They are skilled in flying. They can kick booty. Hufflepuff, it's giving softy. They work with animals. They probably have like little beavers. They do spells. They help them. Anything nature, cutesies, very kind people. I would want to be placed with them. Then last there's Slytherin, who, going off this snake name, I'm going to say they're the bad house. They're very sneaky, deceptive because they're like a little snake, like a serpent. They're the bullies of the school who think they're better than everyone else because they have more power, and they specialize in like that demon dark magic, the kind that we want to stay away from because it's not holy. So obviously the magical hat, it decides that Harry's going to be put in Gryffindor. Awesome. Great. He moves in. He meets Ron Weasley, I think his name is, the gingered kid, and they hit it off right away. They're roommates. These two definitely enjoy getting into mischief. They go searching around the castle and just being naughty, things like that. We probably go on to see their first day of classes. There's flying brooms, spells 101, wizard history, fun stuff like that. And Harry Potter, he sucks at everything. Like, kick this guy out. He is doing so bad. And this is where Emma Watson's gonna come in. From clips I've seen, her character Hermione is kind of like this badass, she's sassy. So Harry's a disaster right now, and he does something horrible. Maybe he turns the teacher into like an ugly animal, or he messes up this spell and things go exploding. So Hermione, she comes in and she shows him, she's like, this is how it's done, and fixes everything perfect. Bam. And he is in awe. She just walks away, and Harry and Ron, they chase her after class, asking how she did it and for tips or whatever. Ooh. And then they go asking her for help on their little excursions, and she joins them, and she's like the magic behind their little operations, and she starts teaching them, and they become good, like a solid friend group. They're now besties. And so the whole beginning of the movie is just them becoming wizards and causing some chaos. That sounds right. That sounds pretty accurate. I think I'm on the right track with this. I also do know that Harry's like this celebrity in Hogwarts. So I'm going to assume that's because he's an orphan boy. And the other kids, they're rich. They come from lines of wizards. So he's popular because he's the first commoner to be in Hogwarts. That would mean that the Slytherin kids, they're bullying Harry Potter because they are more powerful. They know more about wizard they know more about witchcraft. So they pick on him and his friends because they don't want them succeeding in Hogwarts. They want to get them kicked out because they're evil. Then we have the head of all the bullies, and that is Draco. Looking at him, he is more mysterious. He has like this little plot going on. And he's been watching them, so he knows that Harry and his squad like to get into trouble. So his plot to get Harry Potter kicked out is to kind of bribe him or talk him into going to the Forbidden Forest, which they are told is off limits. So Harry and Draco, they sneak off into the Forbidden Forest, and something terrible has to happen here. So what I'm thinking is not Harry, but Draco gets into trouble. Draco just completely disappears, and Harry is now on his own because his plot was just to abandon Harry there and get him in trouble. Everything is completely silent, it's spooky, and then out of nowhere, you just hear Draco scream. Ends up, they woke this giant, and it now has Draco. So Harry, he uses this crazy spell to free Draco, which is unbelievable. It's never like been seen from someone who's a first year, and so they're like, oh my gosh, what? And they run back to safety while still being chased by the giant. Eventually, they lose him, and they're back at Hogwarts. Draco's like, thank you, bro, you saved my life. They start to get along, and he apologizes for taking him to the Forbidden Forest. So they're on good terms. I have a feeling there's like this friendship sort of bond with them, like frenemies. Little do they know, they brought the giant to Hogwarts. And they also don't know that this giant is Voldemort's like little minion kind of monster thing. So by awakening this giant and bringing it to Hogwarts, they have now made a gateway for Voldemort to get in there too. They just don't know it yet. I swear, if this is not what happens, this movie probably sucks because we're going good right now. This is good. So the whole school has to evacuate, and Harry needs to fix his mistake. So he gets his friends together, and he also gets Draco with his friends. Drama breaks out. They're like, Harry, why the hell do we have the head Slytherin bully here helping us? And he kind of explains that they're on good terms. He saved his life, and how they're the ones that brought the giant, and eventually they decide to work as a team. Anyways, they settle that, and they go down to the third floor corridor to find this stone. The stone is supposedly powerful enough to beat the dragon. And I don't know, maybe they heard about it in class or something in Wizard History 101. And while they go down, there's probably like that Indiana Jones type of like obstacles that they have to go through. Maybe like big statues or spines. Then they run into the three-headed dog thing. Considering that it's a dog, it would make sense that they kind of use their wizard magic. Maybe Hermione steps in and like gets him to sleep, or like gives him a bone or something. So the dog's not really that big of a threat. They kind of just train him and push him aside. After that, they get down to the third floor where they split up in pairs, and we have Draco and Harry, and then Hermione and Ron, Don, Weasley kid. Eventually, Draco and Harry, they do find the box. Draco turns on Harry, and he snags the box, and he's like, no, you can't touch this. This is mine. He's got like this evil look because he's deceptive. He's a snake. He's a Slytherin bully kid. You know, he believes that because he's more powerful than Harry, he should get the box, and the stone belongs to him. Get this. The box, it won't open. Not for Draco, no. But that doesn't stop him. Him and Harry, they just keep fighting over this thing, and it's, I don't know, wasting wasting their time, I guess, because upstairs, Hogwarts is getting destroyed by giants. All of a sudden, we hear screams again. This time, it's their friends. They got themselves in like this little trap, and Harry is the only one to go save them. And he does that. But then when they come back, Draco's like up against the wall by like this dark spirit magic thing, which is like the spirit of Voldemort. And they obviously don't know that, but he's pinned against the wall and he's like dying, and the stone is on the floor, but Harry can't get to it. Pew, pew, pew. They try using their pew pews, their little wand magic, and that doesn't work. But while they're doing this, the box, it starts glowing and it makes its way towards Harry. Harry runs, he grabs it. Ah, just like the wand, it is just glowing. It's like it was meant for him. It has chosen Harry. So he uses the stone, frees Draco, and then everyone goes upstairs and they fight the giant. They become heroes. The teachers reward them. They're on the honor roll now. And while things are good, Draco is still not satisfied because once again Harry had to save his life. He's full of envy and goes back to being Harry's nemesis. Nothing too concerning to look out for. But at the end, before the credits, we see that opening that they had from the Forbidden Forest to Hogwarts, where we see this dark figure, aka Voldemort, passing through into Hogwarts, and there's other little demon things following it. He's letting them in. Then bam, credits. I gotta say, I think I'm onto something here. I got a good storyline going, especially with the cliffhanger. It leaves the audience wanting more, and because there's so many more movies, it makes sense that they would do a cliffhanger like that. But before you guys tell me how much of a genius I am, don't worry, I can still make a fool of myself. We still have another movie. Next is Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. It is now their second year at Hogwarts. Everyone's back from summer vacation and settling in. We got the Olympic Games going on where Harry and Draco, they go face to face, and Draco's obviously cheating because he's a Slytherin but doesn't get caught for that, and that's really the only drama right now, is that Draco is a loser and he sucks. Things seem normal, but they're not, because remember, Voldemort is now in Hogwarts, and guess what he did? He did something not too good. The dean now is telling the students that the Chamber of Secrets has been opened. Do I know what that means? No, I do not. But you know what? I'm the author here, so J.K. Rowling, step aside, please. Voldemort, he found his way to the chamber and he unlocked it. And Harry and his friends, they're like, okay, we gotta get to the bottom of this because they love a good mystery. Draco, he's mad at Harry for getting spotlight for saving the day. So he gets all the Slytherins together to solve this mystery before Harry Potter does. But wait, guys, Harry Potter has a sidekick, and it's Gollum from Lord of the Rings. How he got here is a mystery, but hey, he is here and he's helping Harry Potter now. Awesome! So once more, Harry Potter and his friends go under Hogwarts searching for the Chamber of Secrets after doing some research from like 3 talking books or something. They didn't bother looking behind them or they would know Draco and the Slither sluts were right there. Eventually, they find the chamber. Everything's just ruined. It's crumbles. There's nothing to see. It kind of seems like the teachers were being dramatic. Nothing bad was really happening. The whole situation and legends were fake. The Slytherin kids, they reveal themselves. They're laughing at Harry Potter. They're like, you're a loser. Like, what is this? You brought us to nothing. They're just mocking him and they're bullying him, but our boy Draco, he knows better because he's on to something. He sneaks around. There's like this vault. I saw a vault in the trailer. So yeah, there's a vault and it unlocks for Draco. Suddenly, everything is slowly being rebuilt and revived. It is no longer crumbles and ashes. And they start forming these creepy snake demonic statues, and the vault is opening. That is when those monster things from Universal, they start like sliding their way out and they possess all the Slytherin kids. So Gryffindor gang, they're trapped. They have all these demonic possessed Slithers and there's really no way out. Eventually they kind of find a way to run through the chamber, and it's like a maze, so they just kind of run until they lose them. This chamber is full of everything Slytherin. Maybe there's snakes like guarding books and Egyptian carvings on the wall. They eventually lose the Slither people. They hear this laugh. They turn around. It's Voldemort. He has them cornered. Ends up, Draco unleashed Voldemort's spirit minions, and they start taking over Hogwarts. Voldemort traps them in the chamber and goes to join the rest of the possessed kids. Remember though, Harry Potter, he has a sidekick, and we didn't even know that the sidekick was there because he's not given a lot of screen time because he's ugly, probably. He like sneaks his little goblin way in. He frees Harry Potter and his friends. They rush upstairs. But wait, how are they gonna defeat these guys now? They know he's too powerful to fight, so they search for something that might be useful to them. And lo and behold, there is this sword. I saw it on the cover and it's in the trailer. I'm not actually that smart. Yeah, Harry gets this magical sword because things love to choose him. It's a consistent theme in this series. So they leave the chamber and they go back to Hogwarts. War has broken out. Everything is mayhem. We have people dying in this film. Things are getting crazy, guys. There's probably another epic battle sequence where they're flying on their brooms and pew-pewing out their wizard wands. Voldemort, he turns into this giant snake-looking beast. No one knows how to fight him. He is killing everyone. Harry has his Prince Charming Sleeping Beauty moment. He goes up, uses the sword, bam, right into the back where like his heart would hit, and then he like goes down and like the monster just turns back into Voldemort and he's like dead, but not dead. And the Slytherin kids they're like, oh, we're free. What just happened? We got demon possessed. These demons, they go flying out of Hogwarts into the abyss because they're probably gonna return in the other films. The survivors, they party, they celebrate, and they mourn the losses of the dead wizards. Harry confronts Draco. He's like, come on, dude, like just be good. Stop doing this. You keep getting yourself hurt. You're really just stupid. But Draco ignores him and is like, no, it's okay. I'm good off that. And yeah, it just goes back to school. They set up like more protective measurements. Voldemort, he's put into jail, he's captured, and happily ever after, I guess. So there you have it, my prediction of Harry Potter 1 and 2. I really don't know how I did here, and I kind of want to find out, but I'm also too scared to get demon possessed, so this is probably the best we're gonna get. And honestly, I really like my version. But hey, let me know in the comments how I did, or shit on me. Either one works. Thanks for sticking around this far. I hope I didn't annoy you too much or bore you too much. If you actually like this video, then, well, maybe you should subscribe. Yeah, bye!